and welcome. In this section you will learn how to design online game that you on your phone and your friend from his phone you could play Tic Tac Toe online. For example, this phone, Leia want to play with Jenna. She said Jenna at Gmail. She input the Jenna email.com. She said, hey Jenna, I want to play with you. Jenna directly get request from Leia, see online, using Firebase online database. When Jenna accept the game, they could start playing the game. So for example, this one select O, Jenna directly see the O. When Jenna select X, Leia directly see the X. They could play in real time. So in this section, you will learn a lot. You will learn how to use analytics in the Firebase to see the user performance. Also, you will learn about authentication and how to allow user to log in with their email and password in your application. And also, you will learn about database, which is an important part, how to save information and how to retrieve it on real time. So let's get started step by step. Hey again. Play tic-tac-toe with a device was one of most interesting things that we did it in the beginning of this course, and we was really happy with that game. But in that time we was playing the tic-tac-toe with a device. Now what if I want to play the tic-tac-toe with a friend? So I'm from my phone, my friend from his phone, and we are both play the game. When I click X, he will see it. When he click O, he will see it. So here we have to think about something, manage our connection. We need both connected, we need both get real-time data. If we think before a while, you have to say, hey, I will use a server and sending data, getting data, using database, which much complex. But now Google make this process really easy with Firebase. Really easy, just make two phones connect to Firebase, one phone update to the Firebase, one phone listen, and you all set. So to get started, first of all, we have to create our project. So let me just go here in Android. I have already something named Tic Tac Toe game. I have this one for local. I just create a new folder. I name it Tic Tac Toe online. I already used the one that I have already, so because I don't want to go to the design and all these things. Second thing, I will just open Android Studio. When I open Android Studio, I just make this one refreshing while I'm doing other process. So just opening Android Studio to start work with Firebase. So let me just remove these things from the screen. Just you would see how we work. So yes, here we go. So I just said open existing project. From existing project desktop, I have it in Kotlin, Android. I think I have it online game, tic-tac-toe online, this one, this is startup. So online I'm using it. So just click on it, he will start loading it. Second part, I have to think about something Firebase. So if I just go to Google, I go to website named firebase.google.com. So make sure you go to this website and you make sure you are already logged in with your Google account. Just go with a browser. After you log in, just get started. If you are new, you just go through some process, you just agree, it will open the page for you. I already logged in it. So in this Firebase, you will see all your project and all your application that you already connected with. I have many projects here. I don't want to talk about my project. I want to talk now about your project. So waiting for a while, the Android Studio will be loaded and we will get started. Here we go. After a while, he complete loading my project. First thing I need to do is just connect this project to my to Firebase. So to connect this project to Firebase, I have to connect the IDE with Firebase. If you see here, you have a login. Just click on it, sign in, and he will sign in with your Google account. I already signed in with this one. Just connect. He will connect it with this one because I already with this one I opened Firebase. So just now, if I just go to the IDE, I will see he's logging in with that Firebase. That's great. So to create my first project in Firebase, I would just go to the tools. From tools, there's a menu named tools. Then tools, I just go to the something named Firebase. So from menu tools, then Firebase, click on it. He will show you something about Firebase beside this one. So we will start basically step by step about Firebase. Firebase have many features we could work with. So I will go through them by
by the videos. So first of all, analyze. I want to get analysis about my user, what they are doing, and this is very basic solution. We do it in the startup. So if I just click on this one, you say add, open it. You say, hey, you did not connect it. If you see the Firebase here, the project here, I don't see anything about Firebase here added in my project. So project level. So by click on this one, he will add connection between my project and the local and Firebase. First of all, I say, hey, do you have a project in Firebase? If I see here, I don't have any project for this one. You could in every project you could add multiple apps. So I would create a new project. I will name it Tic Tac Toe Udemy because I have another one. So this one, Tic Tac Toe for Udemy. Okay, or I name it Game Udemy, name of my project. Then I just create connect Firebase. Now in this basic process, he will go to the Firebase and he will create a project for me and he will create one app inside that project. Then next, when I want to create another app in that project, I just add app. I don't add a project. For now, I just added the project because I don't have any project. So what I mean by that, we just go to my Firebase basically. This is some of the apps I have. If you just click this project have many apps like my apps. So, but for now, if I just refresh the page, hopefully he create the project for us, the project for Udemy on Udemy game. See it? He just create a project for me. If I just click, he just create one app inside the project, which is this project, com.arrobai.tictactoy local. Click on it. This is my game, which is yes, or this is my dashboard for that game. Now let me just do first thing analyze. I want to see the data of my user, how they are going, what they click it, and more. So to do that, really easy process. I have this one. Just if you see, wait a second. I just click this one. I say click add. He say, hey, I will add this one in your bundle. I say, okay, add it, accept and add it. He will add the connection to Firebase to my bundle. See, he just here if you see in the bundle, he just added connection to Firebase cover. So this line, when you want to add any external library in Android Studio, you just go to bundle, you give the information about that external library. So see, he just add com.googlefirebase.cover mean for analyze. So now to do analyze, I want to get update of my user, whatever they are doing in the main project. So let me just go to the, I don't know where the main one is living. This is main activity. Okay, let's get started. There is 3 steps. First of all, I need to declare this one on the top. So I just need to import it. So I say, hey, import this library for me that he already added in the bundle. Second thing, I need to create an instance from that library. I just say, hey, I have a private instance from that library, which is FirebaseAnalytics, this library. I need to create private instance, and I just give it as initial value equal null. Okay, that's good. This is my first step. Second step, he just say, hey, initialize that variable. I say in the main, I just say m Firebase. This one I just initialize it and hopefully just I'm able to access to it. FirebaseAnalytics equal this one. He wasn't able to access to this variable. I don't know why the ID have a problem. So this is my variable, and I just say, hey, this variable should be private var. Oh, I just forget that. So this variable, he defined it. Here he initialized it. Here he need access to internet permission. Make sure to go to the main first, and in the main first, just add access permission. And here you say use permission, you say internet, okay? Because you need to access the internet to use this app. Just run it, make sure to clean the project before you run it. So then you will see the Firebase connection in seconds. So I don't see anything, but to make sure if I just connected and I would see the result, I just go to Logat, and here I look for something for Firebase and make sure if he was able to initialize it. Say, hey, Firebase initializes successfully. If you see this one, that is great. You connected. So now, whatever any people play with Firebase, you would see the results here. You would see everything about them here in your analytic. To show you previous data, if I just go to my Firebase dashboard, I just show you some data I have it already from my applications. So I would suppose this one, for example, this application have 19k follow person in it. So if you just go to it, you would see all the information about your user. So in analytic, you see everything. So if just adding that tool, and he will give you real-time data, how the people grows users, how much you get money, and he will get the relation weeks, how the engagement in the application, everything, models, where they are, if they are male or female, all these what they're interesting. This is important part information about your user, what the part they are interesting. Some of them see interested in games, some are interested in whatever they are interested in. So maybe you do advertise for them. Also, if you see here you have event, he will give you what they did, what they click. So see most people click in clear, some of them remove the app, some of them open the app. So he give you what they click, how they interact with your application, which is great. So just 2 lines, he give you all this information about your user. Yes, amazing. So let's go to the next step and start creating login in. Hey again, in the previous video we did connect with Firebase, and now our project is connected with the Firebase, and later on any update happen in our project we will see it in the Firebase. Now let's get started of the first thing in the game. Anyone want to play online with people, you have to have a record, so you have to be login. So how to do login? There's something named authentication here for login users. If you see here, there's a different method for login. They could use their Google account in the phone, they could use their Facebook account in the phone, Twitter, GitHub, anonymous, that means no account, or email and password. I prefer to enable this one because I want to use people enter username and password. So what I will do, I will create form in the application, the user enter username and password, and it will be saved here. So see how much easy login. So think about it if you want to do it alone, how much time will take and how much design you need. Database, web service, send, receive. No. Here's the process really easy. So to get started, I will do my login page because I have only one page, which is for the Tic Tac Toe show. So I need to create login page for the game. So I just click in new on layout and click activity. I would select base empty activity. So from here, I just give a name for my activity. What's the name of my activity? I need it to be login because I need people login. What's the package name? That's just to avoid that problem. I want to add it under same package that is this one, Tic Tac Toe game. So make sure add it in the same package, which is Tic Tac Toe local, and the language is Kotlin. If you see you have 2 packages, maybe you want to add it in startup, make sure he added in this package, in the local one. Just click OK. So he have to add it. See, he just added in this package. So now I have another page for login. People could enter their name and password and login. So now I want to design the username and password. I need to ask user to enter name and password. Okay, I have text field here. He enter his name. That's good. And I will add another one. So hopefully what the constraint layout I'm using, hopefully it is good. So yes, this is for name. I add another text for the password. So select password type. So because I don't want to show him my password. And also I add button for login. So here you go. So let me add it here. So just make it easy. So he will add all the constraint for me. So do it in this way to see the constraint be easy for me to follow my constraint. Just here, down below, add second constraint. I would just use very simple UI. So I don't want to go of design process with too many complex things. Sorry. Yes, this one. And this one, see, just give you error when doesn't connect it right. But now I think everything is connected right. So now everything is connected. I just go back to UI. See here, this one. Give it a name. Name it edit text email. Okay, and yes, and remove anything inside it, and say here hint enter your email. Okay, because we are asking for email, and yes. And this one, same thing. I name it edit text password, and I said here yes, and I give it hint enter your password. Okay, then I just click to any other field, so he could pop login. Sorry, I just did a mistake. So I say here enter your password. Okay, okay, okay. Then I just go to the button and I name this button. Did I name it correctly? Name it. This was this text field, edit password. The button should be login, so I name it bu login, and here I give it text. I say login if I just want to login, and make sure I give it event. He call it, say name it bu login event. Okay, and I just go to my code and try to implement this part. So I say, hey, I would just go here. I will do function, name it bu login event, take it view as an input, which is a part of a view class, and that is so. This one will be called when someone want to login. He still give me this error for resource. Okay, let me think about other solution. What if I just take these both and I move them to startup? I think, as I told you, you will not get these problems because if you just create startup a project. I get this problem because I'm using different packages. So yeah. Yes, I get Bolt. Yeah, that's good. So you go to the next step and start connect with Firebase. Hey again, well, let me implement in this video the connection between this UI. We pass this username and password, we pass it to Firebase, and Firebase could read it. So make sure just in the sign in you just enable this one because we enabled in the previous video. Maybe you forget that, so make sure to enable. If you are sure it's enabled, let's go start and implement. So we have a login page. This is the page that we want to work in this time. So just maximize it. I just go to the tools, then Firebase. For now, I want to work with something named login. So if I just go to the authentication, just email password. First of all, you say, hey, you are connected to Firebase. Yes, I know that. I need to add the connection to the authentication. If you see, say, hey, I will add this one to your bundle. I say, okay, accept change. So he will add this one to the app bundle. In the second, he just said add this authentication. See, here is it. So now I will be able to use authentication in my login page. That's good. So how I work with authentication? Authentication, first of all, if you see, this is how it's work. You just say it's a different way to work with authentication, but let's get started with a simple way with following these guidelines. If you want to follow this guidelines to create a new user, this is the same thing that what I will do it in this video. You could track them and you could follow me. So to follow me, I just do simple process. First of all, I need to define private. Make sure I define it here. I define the private, the variable, and this variable I needed to authentication to make my authentication for the user could login. So I say my auth, okay, and this one as initial value doesn't have anything. Okay, so make sure this is my auth, but should be part from authentication class, or that means Firebase authentication. Okay, authentication. So this is instance. He import this library for me. So authentication. Now in authentication, when the when the application started, I need to initialize this authentication. Just I say, hey, Firebase authentication, just get instance. He initialize it. Now let me think about the login method. I will do simple function for login to make the process easy. Maybe you need to copy and use it again. Login to Firebase. Okay, with email, that's going to Firebase. That's okay. I take two things here. I take email, which is string, and also I take the password, which is also a string. Okay, and this username and password have to be passed to me from this function. So when someone wants to login, he click login button, he pass me the edit text for the email dot text, you know that, and he passed me the edit text for the password dot text. Why? Because we remember in the previous video we did define the these both. So make sure just change them to string, and this one make sure to change it to string, so you will be able to read it. So why these both? Because if you go to the design layout of the login, we just define two things. We define email username, we give it a name as the email, and the password, give the name as the password. So when someone click on this button, which is this button in the design code, he will go to the method named bu login. So just click command, just track my code correctly. He come here, he sent login to Firebase, he sent email, password. Now, so here I have an email and password. Now I want to do my login. The login is really easy. I just have authentication here. It's defined as a properties. So I say authentication dot create. Okay, I say create user with email and password. I send them two parameters. The email, I have it input, and the password, I have it also input. What more? I just go, I click dot. I say add on complete listener, and here I would use something about lambda. Just really easy just to do it. I say, hey, I'm passing this, and I'm waiting to specify two tasks to be done, and this task have to return for me a result, which is when the task done, I need this task to return me the result, and that is I'm done. So now this task will return, will have information about the operation. So I say, hey, if the task dot is successful, or is he successful to login, show him a message he is successful. So I say to us dot make text. I say get context or application context. You just make a syntactic sugar, and you say successful login. So you say just successful login, and you just show a message like to us dot long, and you say dot show he is successful login. If he fail, like mean else he wasn't able to login, and show me why he failed. You say fail login. That means you are not able to do the login to the code. So I have successful login, I have fail login. Just I want to go to the main page. Here's it, which is startup. I add the filter here and the login, and let me move it in main activity. I just move it to the login page, so I need the startup be from the login page. I don't want to start from main page. So now I would see the login page, so the login page will be able to start login from there. Here we go. After a while he did this one, and I could login. Like if I say Hussein at yahoo.com, I don't think Yahoo will work. Let me suppose Hussein at gmail.com, and I give password 1 2. I name it password, this one Hussein. Don't give it weak password, he will not able to login. Click login. He have to be, after a while he say login successful. That's great. If I just go to the Firebase, I just refresh the page, he have to show me I did login. See, he say, hey, there is person login. See how much easy process, and he give me this user ID. So how I could read this information? Here we go. Now everything sounded great for me. Now one thing I need to do, take the user information and pass it to the second activity. So I suppose I have here a function, and this function, name it load main. Okay, and this function load main will get a parameter which is the have information about the user, about the current user. So same it current user should be instance of Firebase user. Okay, Firebase user, this is instance of the Firebase user, which have information about the user. Could have anything, username, email, password. So think about, you have intent, so variable intent, you want to go to the main activity. You say, okay, intent, I go from this to I go from this to main activity, and this main activity should be a Java class, and I want to add some extra in this intent dot add put extra. I would add, for example, email, and I pass it. I know this one will have information about the user, current user, so I will pass the from this one I will pass dot email. So this one have many information, have email, have password, have many things. Sorry, not email, password. Have email, have UID. UID is something unique. Every person have a specific UID. So let me just pass email, and I will pass the UID also. So what is UID? UID is this one. We may use it and we may not. UID, if in the Firebase, if you just refresh it, will be represented by this one. Every user have unique UID. You could track them in the database. This is a very amazing thing. So everyone have unique UID. You cannot have two users having same UID. So I having intent, then I say, hey, start the activity for me. What activity? To start that intent. From where I call this one, I call it from different places. For example, I want to call it after I successful login, I call it. So I say load activity. What I have to send for him, I send him the current user of the authentication. I say, hey, my auth, or just, okay, wait, just call this method without anything, and this one without anything, and just make this instance just getting the current user from the Firebase. You say my auth. I could do that, I think I could. Wait, I said current user should be instance from Firebase, and this one should take this my authentication and getting the current user from that authentication. I say current, I don't know where is the error here, maybe in the initializing. So current user variable for the current user will have the information of current user. So this function will get called from here, from main, and also it get called when the form loaded. So I need to override a method, name it on start, hopefully on start. Okay, this method will get called when the device on start. So I say, hey, if the device on start, do this. Why? Because when we login, we click this one, and when login, he load this as for us. But the second time he opened the application started, the activity started, I also call this method. But before I do this, I have to make sure the user is not null, because maybe he's not logging, like maybe he opened the application for first time and he don't when we call this method, if he open it for first time, he go to the authentication, he don't find any information about the user in the database, so he will fail. So making sure you have a user to go there. So if I just run it again, you will see it will directly go to the second activity. Why? Because when the application started, he will call on start, go to load, check if there is any current user in Firebase. He find the user in the database because he already registered in the Firebase, so he will directly take this information from the user and he pass it to the second activity. So now we will no longer see first activity, never. Why? Because whenever the application started, he will find the user, he'll go to the second activity, and boom, he done. When we will see this activity, if the user just loading for first time, like think about, I just want to delete this application, okay, and I don't know why it name it startup. We should name it like Tic Tac Toe. So before restarted, let me just give it a name, like why startup. So if I just go to the application name here, I name it Tic Tac Toe. Okay, so just rerun it again, my Tic Tac Toe game. Now he will see me. Why? He will see the login. Why? Because first user, he just opening the application for first time, he just go there to the login, he say load this one for any application started. I don't know this user null, there is no user in the database, he will not call this if, then he will show me login page, then boom, he asked me to login. Now if I just login, let me suppose Jenna now, I just add gmail.com, I just input information about Jenna, whatever, she has a password, and she click login, she would go to the second activity. Why? Because the user is login. Next time, if the Jenna close the application, which is a Tic Tac Toe game, and she try to open the application again, she will not see the login page because she already logging it in. She just directly see the main page. Why? Because directly this one will call it and he directly pass the information to main activity. So here we done. Thank you for watching. See you next.
Hey again. One of interesting feature added by Google is Firebase database. So Google allow you now to use Firebase database to access to a directory and read from it in real time, which is amazing that you will see it in seconds how on the next video how we do online gaming. For now, what I want to learn is very simple things. You see this here authentication. This is totally different from this one. So what I want to do, I want any user login, I will get his name, email, and I will get his UID, and I will save them here in the database as a node under user. So if you suppose I know here I have some node named users and just have value true, just nothing to create it. So this is user will have list of users inside it as a node. So how to work with it? If I just go to my work area in the Firebase assistance, I just see here I said save and retrieve data, click on it and just click add Firebase. So you will add this one to my Gradle. Add it, then you
you done. So now he add the Firebase to my Gradle, so I could work with the Firebase. So to work with Firebase, you have, first of all, you go to the app and you define something about Firebase instance. You say, hey, I need to define a private, and this private instance, this is variable which is instance from my database. So I say database, which be equal Firebase database. Okay, hopefully you will get it. So Firebase database dot get instance. If you see how we just import Firebase database, I think he just imported here. Now I have instance. Second thing, I do my reference for the database. So I say private var, I name it very basic name, my ref. You will see it a lot. So I say database dot whatever, I say get reference or references. So what this thing do for us, you just connect with this database in Google. So just this two line pop up with the sound. Sorry, I'm living on the street, I think. So I just have this real-time database. When I added these two lines, like here, I said database that I'm creating an instance from the database, then I connect to it. So now this one have an instance from the database, and I could access to that instance. So what I want to do, here when the person did login, I save the information about that user. Okay. So about the current user, I save it in the database before I go. So I say here, save in database. Okay, this is just a start point, then we will move it in a second. So to save the database, I say my reference dot, then children. The database here working as a children because it's nodes, so children inside children. So I want to access to this children, which name it users. Okay, access to this children, which name it user. Okay, now I'm the children of the user. I want to add child to it. I add child which represent the user UID. So I take this one, add this 10, and I added to it value, set value for this user. So I say set value. I will add the email of that user. So what I mean by this code, really easy code. So I just say, hey, go to the database, go to the node, name it user, create a new node inside it, name it, have an ID of that user, then set the value of the email of that user. I just run this code and I just see how the real time work. If you just run it, and in seconds you will load it, and in seconds he will pop, you will see the how he will be able to directly create node, add user inside it. So the idea of this point is what? The idea is this. We're creating node users, and in this node we have all the information about the users. So we have a user, then say just it's debugging. So in second you will see it in this node as his email and his password, I think so. So because I'm here, hopefully just going back to home page, see here is it. See directly created. Why he created this way? Why I use it UID? Because I'm sure every user have unique UID, so I will not get confused if the second user coming login. If the second user coming here and also want to login, he will create another node for him inside this one, and he will add the email of that user. To make sure we are right, if I just suppose doing the same application, I don't have another application for now. I would just use same application, Tic Tac Toe game. I just remove it from here and rerun the application again, and just login with different user, because I just using like just want to demo it for you in the same emulator. If you just try different emulators, but yes, in my screen if I open two emulator, it will take too much to run. So just let me suppose this another user, this user name Hussein at gmail.com, and his password whatever he want to add his password, and he want to login. When you click login, the Firebase just create another node. He take his UID and his email. His UID is this one. If you see it, if you just want to make sure if this is same user UID, just copy it, go to users and look for that ID. See it, same ID. So the idea is this: we have a node named users, and we will have all the information about these users. Every user have his UID, and we will continue saving all this information about these users. So just to make my code a little bit like better, I think it is not good to call this code here, because every time he will load, I don't need to call this code every time. I need it only for first time when he did login. So when he did login, create user and do this. So a really easy process. I say I need only for one time when user did login, create the node for me. I don't want him every time he come node, he come and create, he come and create, he come and create. So he suppose you say, hey, maybe there's a null value. You know that because he expect he having null value, but we are sure if we come here there is no null value. If you want to make sure, you say you could follow same pattern here. Either you say, hey, if the user is not null, do this, or you remove these things, or you just say it's better this one. I think the user is not null. So this one now is get called only one time. So, but let me think about the process again. We are saving here the user ID and we saving the email of the user. I think this is not a professional or code, because what we want to have how the other user know your UID. The other user will never know your UID. He could know your email, but he cannot know your UID. So it's better to replace them. Instead adding email UID, instead adding UID email, I save email UID. But if you do it in this way, if I just go here, I say, hey, I have this one, I want to take this one, move it here, and I take this email and move it here, this one will not work. Why? Because in the Firebase, if you just rerun it, the Firebase will never be able to add @ inside the node name. So you cannot use @ because you know email have @. So if you come here, @ we have, so you cannot have a node having @. So it's better to take only this part. So splitting string and save it. So if you just define a function here, and I will define it here. I define function. I will name it split string, and it just get a str, which is string. Okay, and this string was get splitted. So how I say I do that? I say, hey, variable split equal then string str dot split whatever the string is coming. I just want to split the string according the @. So when you see @, please split the string and return for me only the split in the location 0. That means only the first one. So whatever, hopefully this one up, he said split change a. You need to you say, hey, I'm returning string here, so he will understand, hey, you are returning string. So it's better to save only the UID, so not saving, just calling this method here. So I don't want to save in the database. I don't want to save the user @ or whatever. So I sending current user. Let me suppose current user dot email. It's going to split. Split will get it. Why he just give me error here? So if you just look through this one, you say maybe he need to change it to string. Maybe. Let me suppose to string. If he was able, yeah. You need to change it to string. So this split method will take your email, get it here, split it in two parts, take only before @ and return the first part for you. And bam, he done. Now if I run it, it will not work because I need to delete the application. I suppose this application working for just for a new user. As I said, I don't want this function to call it thousand times. So just deleting the application and rerun it. So I just go here, go to main, delete my application, which is Tic Tac Toe. Hopefully I see it now. Delete it. Okay, then rerun the app and he will ask me for a new user. It is better to clean up my database with the new data, so just clean all the users so I don't have any bad users. Also I clean the database now, the authentication, I remove all them, so we always have the last cleaned data, last clean design. So make sure I just delete everything, so make sure I don't have any problem. So now if I just go here, he have to be able to log in now. For now he just log in, and he asked me to enter. Let me suppose I say I'm Hussein at gmail.com. So and my password, whatever I want to do, and just click login. He have to say, hey, login successful, and login successfully. Open this page for me. If I just refresh this page, he have to be able to show me my logged user. That's what we learned. Hey, there's user, this is my email, and this is my UID. If I just go to the database, you have to also to create node for me, node name it Hussein, have my UID. So now it's better or easy to access to this user Hussein by his name. So here we done. See you next.
Hey again. In this video, I want to change the design of this layout to allow user to send and accept invitation. So you remember we had this one, table view, to display data as a table. But now we have some changes. Table view will not work, but still I still need the table view to hold this content. So this is 3 rows, still need to be inside table view. So make sure take them, define table view, and add these 3 items inside it. Good. This is for this design. Now also the table view have specific features like these things. I just take them and move them to this table view features. Okay. Table view also has this one, layout height and layout width. Just take it and add it. So still I'm in the table view. But this one now need to be changed to linear layout. Why linear layout? Because table view will not work with my new design. So better to change it to the linear layout, and also still give it same background. Why remove the background? Still let the linear layout taking that background. So see now what I have table view and I have linear layout. Linear layout saying horizontal. But it's by default. I will change it, I think, vertical to make it in this way. Yes, I have table view and I want to add another layout inside my design, which horizontal, which holds some information about the gaming player. So this one will hold the 3 things. So wait a second, I will add plain text inside it. That's good for this one. And also add 2 buttons like accept or ask or request invitation. So this one for accept, whatever, this one for request. So see, this one is someone taking all the screen because the height is match parent, make it wrap content, and bam, you done. This button is better to change the color of this button. I think you remember we did work on some layout design in colors. Some colors I think we had here. Too many colors we have, not some colors. So let me suppose the buttons taking the green color if you want, if we want, or the blue. Okay, blue. I think blue. Blue is nice. Blue and green. So let me suppose this layout will have changing it. So this one will hold the blue one. So I say this button because he requests. So Android request, I say it background. I give it add color, not white. I give it blue. And this one, the second button, let me give the green to make it like hey accept. So for green, I think, yes, it sound nicer. If you just see more nice color, let me see, maybe we have more nicer. Yeah, dark green. I love this color. So going back to main layouts, and yes, this one should be. I would suppose this one should be, not this one. This one should be dark green. Yeah, it sounds nicer for me. No, I don't think nicer. This one is better. So this button will be for accept. This button for be invite or request. You request something. So you have request, you have accept. This button for this text field, I don't need to add anything as input. I want it to be empty, but I want to add hint. So I say Android hint. I could do it from UI. I could do it from here. I say email, other email, other player email. Okay. And going this layout, if you see it is too much, like is matching the top side, which is I don't like it. It is better to add some margin or padding. I would suppose margin because I'm doing it internally. If you do it padding, same thing. I would say like 10 from all sides. So you just make it nicer. Like hey, I want to take 10 from all sides, which is yes. And also this 2 buttons up, one beside the other, that I don't like. So I say Android padding. Now I'm doing margin, sorry, between one and another. So I say margin for the right, for the left, yes, between him and the other one. Let me start. I say 3 pt between it and the input field, and also between this button and this button also add. So yes, no, not you, I think I selected the wrong button. I selected this one. I don't need to do it in this one. Did I? Yes, I have to add it to this one. So select the correct button always. So select that one, add, select this one, add, which is good. So I want to do add. Now it's good for now. So this button should enable that both events for them for requesting. So this one should be ID for it. So I say et email, should have the email for the player. This one should be requesting. It could be your request. I don't care about this one, but I care about the event for it. So I say be your request event, and make sure to implement this one. So make sure to go main activity and implement that event. So I say function be your request view, and make sure this one part from view. Yes, I think view already imported here, so I don't need to import it. So this is for requesting. What's the error here? What's the wrong here? Function. I think everything is good. Function view. I don't think there is anything wrong with this method, but we use this pattern before. Maybe we did some mistake. Let me just see if this pattern already have any error. Nah, I think you need just to define the word protect before it. Maybe. Yes, protect. I need to add it. And also I have another button event, but not BU request. Name it BU accept. Okay, this is for accept. Okay, it's better to change it. This is the capitalized, so this one request will be in this way. So if you go to main layout, this one should be for request. Replace it with this one. So okay, make sure to replace it correctly. Should get replaced. So be your request. I don't know why I just accept it. And also do same event for the second button, which is this one, but this one will not call the request. This one will call the second one, which is accept. So make sure to go to main UI and change this one to accept. Okay, BU accept. So now if I wait a second, just make sure I did correctly. This one should be accept. So if I just click BU request, I have to have information for email. So I say var user email. Just make sure I'm doing correct work. I say I take it from edit text email dot text. That's good. So what about the second one, which is this one? If I BU accept, you have to, when I click on it, you have to take me to this one, and also I will be able to take that email. Just making sure. So now everything sounds cool for me, and I don't have any problem. One thing missing, if I just go to the login, let me just change this one also, the button of this one. I say Android, okay, maybe background. I just give it Android color, whatever color you would like, but let's suppose it blue, black, no, green will be, maybe green will be better. Yes, sound good. So here we done. Thank you for watching. See you next. Hey again. In this video, we will implement the request and accept invitation. So think about you are sending a request to someone. We know everyone will have a node in the database, and this database have a name for that person. So it's better to add another node in that person, name it request, that hold the information about the request. So name of the user. So if I say I want to play with Hussein, I just add name of Hussein in the UI here, and I click request, send request to that person, add request, and that is. So to do that, I just go here, my code, I have something named request. You remember in the login when we worked with the database, first of all, we just create instance. So make sure you create instance before, just copy them and came back here, add it to the top of your page, because we are creating instance from that database. That's good. So creating instance from database instance. So make sure database instance. Okay, this is starting. Then going down, what I need to do more, I need to send a request. So how to do that? Really easy process. I have my reference, then I have the email of the person. So hey, you see when I have to send a request to the users, node name it users, and that side user name of the person.
So I say, hey, and go to the node name it users, inside the user, go to the child, that name is this email, that hold this email. Okay. So make sure this one change it to string to read it, to be able to read it. So to go to that child, then inside that child, go to the child name it request. Unfortunately, we don't have the request now, and we will fix this problem in it later on, because request is not here. When the person starts listening directory, we'll see. So now go to user, name of the player, request, and add request. So how I add a request? There's many people will request. I cannot add my email. It's not good. It's better to do something named push. Push, he will create node with random ID. Whenever I click push, he will create another node with random ID. Then I set a value for it. I add my email. How I get my email? You remember from the login page here, we send it or email in the node. So now here he have to have email when the application gets started. So I could access to the email from here. So first of all, let me define my email. I say variable my email will be string, and for initial value doesn't have anything. Okay, I'm here getting the extra, so I say, hey, intent or variable bundle b, it is instance of bundle, equal intent dot extra. I'm getting the extra information. Then from this bundle I get the email. I say email equal b dot get string. Okay, get string, hopefully, and I give it a key, that one. So now this email, I have to say my email in this way. So my email will hold information about the what's the wrong here. I say no, that's good. So here just when I started, I did login. I will take my email, I send it to the extra. Here he will get my email, get the extra, set that email to my email. So now I have my email. So now here I'm sending my request by sending the value for my email, and that is. So now if you just run the application, whenever you click on request, he will add your email in that place. But now I have to have two users, so just click to play the game. I just selected two. I know I have two player. Why? Because I need two person to play the game. So make sure to run two in emulator. So you now just select both of them, run it, and that is. So waiting for seconds, and let me see how to do send request. So this is our new player, I think, and this is all the player. The one who will show us the main page directory, that's mean this is the one. If this one show us, that's mean this one we know about him. He already logged in. So if they already logged in, that's mean this is Hussein. I could show my email later on here just to make sure, like, hey, you know who's the player, who's the playing. So this is me. This is the new player who is not logging yet in the database. So I have to do login for this one also. Hey, this one directory moved this one. How he was able to do that? Wait a second, I think I have a problem. First of all, let me delete the both apps. Okay, let me just delete both apps. So I delete this one and that one, and make sure, because this one is using like code from previous playing, so just remove this one, and yeah, just remove it. Hopefully he was able to remove it, and also remove this game. Just remove it from the both devices, making sure I just remove both. So remove, yes. You want to remove, yes. Also this one, also Tic Tac Toe, remove it. This game also, make sure I just remove it. I don't know why he take all these times. Like, you have to just say, hey, click. You have to take it to the delete, so he will delete it. So just delete both of them. Now I just want to make sure I'm clear always. So because I would change something in the design, remove database and remove the users. Something in the design will be changed in seconds. So I change, delete this one also, nothing, make sure nothing I have in this layout. If you see, I'm just adding node name it request, but this node inside that user, but this node no one created before. You have to create it, not always, but this time we need to create it because you need to listen to this node in seconds. So make sure instead of adding users child, then give it the value, not just to dot the child for the request, then the value in the login page. In the login page, when we did create the user, we create user in the node we went, then that username, then we create node name it request, then we add this value just randomly. This will help up to listen to the node. You cannot listen to the node that is not created. Now, until now, it will not make any problem for us when we run it, because we don't listen anymore to any node. But if you want to listen to the node and that node is not created yet, you will have a problem. And in second, we will need to listen to the node name it request, okay? Because someone sent a request, and if I listen to the request and I don't have that node, I will have a problem. So basically, how to solve this problem? Whenever you want to listen any node, that node have to be created before you listen to it. Until now, we didn't discuss anything about listening, but this is why I added a request there. This just I don't want to do the work twice, so you just understand it. So basically, I'm not interested in authentication anymore. Most of my interesting area is this one, the database. So making sure both devices running to see what or how we do that. So let's suppose this is just a player, first player, name it jenna@gmail.com, and let's suppose she has any password and she want to log in. Now what we will see, you will see the nodes, name it users, and the user you have Jenna, and the Jenna have a request. See, we create node name it request. Why? Because I want to listen to my node in seconds, just addition level. I don't see this one running any. Yeah, this one is running. So this one is also running. I suppose this one is Hussein, the player. So Hussein, okay, and this one should be Hussein@gmail.com, and this one have a password also, whatever the password he would like. Just click login. Now he have to see also, he have to have a node. See, now I have 2 users, 2 nodes. That's good. Let's go to the third part, which is the request. Let's suppose this is one, this should be Hussein. Hussein want to send request to Jenna. So Hussein just write Jenna name, okay, and he just sent request. What you have to see error. Why? Let me see why he did this error. If I just go to the code environment, I just added in different, I think I added in this one. I have to move it first of all. This one should be not inside the accept, should be inside the request. You're requesting events, and should have a user email, the email that you read it from. So go to the user, that email, go to the, I'm just reading the email value. Maybe he, yes, it's someone here, he say, I cannot find the method named BU request. While here is it the BU request. Why he wasn't able to find it from the UI. Hey, what they did here on the BU request, maybe there's some change happened when we did migrate for the code. We have BU request. Yes, here is it. This is the method. Why he was able to find this method? And the parent or access to the Android only click attributes define the class. Maybe you have to do same thing like this one he did later on. This is just, as I told you, still their mistake. They have to fix it soon. But I don't think this is the problem. You have to able to find this method. Let me suppose I'm calling Jenna. I'm not sure if I am Jenna or yes. Here you go. He just sent the request now. Now he was able. See, it's just like UI change. It's not too. I don't know why, but because we changed the library from one file to file, he get this problem. So see, he sent request to himself because he is Jenna. So if I just send the request to other one because I'm Jenna, I want to send to Hussein. I say, hey Hussein, I want to send you a request. So see, he just sent him request. He sent request to Hussein.
If you see, if you just go to node of Hussein, you just create random. The word push create this ID for me, and he add my email inside it. So if I just call again, like send again request to the Hussein, again request, he got another node with my name. Again request, he got another node with my name, but with different random ID. So now I'm sending 4 requests to Hussein. So let's go to next video, and Hussein try to read this request and accept the invitation. Hey again, we discussed before how to send a request to play the game, and every person have a number of requests. What I want to do in this video, I want to listen to any request, upcoming request, accept it or reject it. So how we do that? I have to listen for node to read the data. If you see what the node is changing here and what the node is having is more stable now. So if I just click write Jenna and click request, you would see, hey, I'm sending to the same person now. Say if I just calling Hussein, okay, you would see a request is going to Hussein, but what the node is affected, if you see the node that is affected every time, it is this node request, because this node is changing. You don't know what is the value, but you know this node is affected. So if you listen to this node and you read the value coming, you could now who send you a request. So how I do that? It's really easy. Just we did the hard part. We now with the simple part. I define function. I name it incoming calls. Okay. This incoming calls will not save anything, but it will listen to any incoming call. How to listen? I have to listen my reference. That means the reference dot child was child. You know that I will listen to the users, to myself. Okay. How to listen myself? I say dot child. I get my email. So you know your email already will be getting from here when the application gets started. But this email you cannot say it, you cannot do this because the email have at. So we said I have in the login page I have to get rid from the at when I use the email. So it's better to use this method. Just copy it and add it here and call it whenever you have email having at. So to avoid any ads in your code. So I'm sending this email, so I'm getting only my email without ads. That's good. So continue. In myself, what I listen in myself, I listen to any request coming. If you see there's a node named request, so I would listen to any request in me. So just saying here, then I said dot, I want to listen on this node, so I say dot add value event listener. So I'm listening to value event. I say give it object and I give it 2 colon, then I give it my value listener 1, then just open a bracket, close it, just implement the code. This value listener take 2 methods. One of them if he able to read, and one of them or the data change, which is just override function. This function name it on data change. So you have 2 on data change and or cancellation. So just implement both of them. So you just implement override another function, name it on cancellation. So these 2 methods you need to implement them to work with. I just use 2 word override to work with on data listener. I don't know why he's still getting rid from this one. He say, hey, I don't know this one. So should it be a problem? Hey, if not null, it's not null. Read it. So yes, this is basically how we do. You say, hey, I have a node, so whenever the application started, whenever I started, whenever my activity started here, which is here, when I just get started, I read my email, go to incoming call, and start listening to this node. Why we have to create it? For that reason, we said, hey, in the login, we have to create that node. So if you see, just we created that node, so I could listen to my node just when I get started, even if I don't have any request. If I don't create the node and I don't have anything in that, I will enroll into error here, because here he don't know which node he to listen if it's not created. But the node now is created even if it don't have any data. Now I want to read the data. If you see the data here in the node is saving as a key value on the request. So just read it. So how to read it? It's just really easy process. You say, let me first try. Maybe I enroll into error. I say try catch. Okay, catch exception. If there is any exception happen, but if there is no exception, please read. I just value. I see TD. Why TD? Because the data will be as a table. You see this one, name it here P0. Mostly they name it same this name but in capital and small. So name it D, data snapshot. So that snapshot dot values or value, you change it as hash map. Okay, why hash map? Because you say it as a key value. We understand the key should be a string. Why the key should be a string? Because the key should be a string. If you come here, the key here is string, but the value may be any, maybe have node inside the node. This one key is string, the value could be any. This key is string and the value is string. So when I say any, that means there's many nodes inside it. Now I'm reading this one, so the key is string and the value should be any because too many things are there. So I say, hey, value and anything may be there. So I now have these two things, TD. Also always I say, hey, add this one. I hate adding this word always if it's not null. So I say, hey, if TD is not null, so just come here. What you have to do, first of all, you say value equal or val equal value is string. This is my initial value. That's good. Then you say for loop through all the element you have it. What say for the key in the td.keys. Why keys? Okay, why? Because looking here, if I get a request, I have number of keys or number of value. So I loop through these elements. So key, he get me key value. So I loop through keys, and through the keys I bring the value. So I say, hey, if no, don't if, you say just bring the value. How to bring the value? The value will be equal what you have in TD depend on the key. Okay, whatever the key you have it, and I will change it to string. Why? Because I'm sure this value is string. Maybe if it's any, you have to change it to any. So I change it to string. I say, hey, this one has string. Then he give me error here. Why? Hopefully this is not error. Mark variable as mutable. Yes, you have to change it var, not val, because you cannot update someone as var. So yes, I have the user now. What I have to do? I get invitation. What I have to do? I say, okay, if I get invitation, I have to show the invitation here in the text field, which is this one. I have to show the invitation here to me. So this was the name of it, text email. Okay, you just go here, you say, okay, text email dot set text. I want to set the text, set text equal this value. I will take for now first invitation only, then I will a break. So I say, hey, a break. Take first invitation, a break. But before a break, I need to clean up. I don't want to keep any other invitation in this list. Just for now. Maybe in the future you want to keep them in white, whatever, but I just want to delete all them. I just take last invitation or first invitation, I got it. So how to clean up the invitation? Did you remember here in the logins how we did initialize to our reference? Do it same thing. Just copy this code and do it in this line. Say, hey, I want to in my request in my email, which is my email. Now I have it email to represent my email for now. So make sure now you send it as my email. My email should be my email. On the request, you send it my value, should be value. You don't have to keep it anything, just give it a true, whatever. You are not interested in the value. So my email may be null, just this way. So a really easy process. You're saying, hey, if I get invitation, please show me the invitation in the UI, and I'm done. Now if I see the invitation in my screen, in the my application here, I have to click accept. How to do accept? The accept process is the opposite of the request process. You remember we did request in this way. So how we do the accept? The accept is the opposite one. If I just get I'm a user, I get I want to accept the data, the something coming inside the email. So what I will do opposite. I will add my email. I will go to that email that is send me a request, and I will add my email inside it.
So the user email that who send me a request, I will add my email inside it as a value. So you just do the opposite. Like if someone asks me a request, he send a request to me. When I reply to him, I add his email and say, hey, I accept your request. But you know what? I think we have a mistake. If I hear I'm sending my request, I will show him my email as a value that's shown to him. But here I'm getting the request as only username. He doesn't input his email. So when someone go to the UI, he just input the email. He will not input the username. So okay, getting his email alone. Let's suppose we sending by email. He said complete email. So if I send to complete email, I have to make sure I'm removing the @ like this one. So make sure here I just take off the @ from this email. Okay, and also make sure when I accept, also I just remove the @ from the email. So now we are just being standard, sending with @ remove it, receive with @ remove it. So now I think everything cool. Just rerun it on the both device and let me see. Okay. Here we go, just starting without anything. So now I want to send to Hussein request. I have to make sure I'm writing Hussein, make sure I write a complete email. How the email for him? Let me gmail.com, whatever. So send a request. He see Hussein get a request and he will remove it and he say, hey, I get request from Jana. See, he does directly see the things. So now when he accept, directly he says, see, he just, Jana also get email of Hussein updated. So now both of them have email each other. So now they could start playing the game. Let's go to next. Hey again. The game that we designed until now, it's good, but we are missing one important thing, that how to play the game online. And that's what we'll do in this video. So to make two player play when online, they have to have a session to play in. So for example, if you go to the database, you have a sessions for the players. So to do that, first of all, I have to go here and see what I have in the request and receive. I'm requesting or receiving. So let me define function, and I say this function, name it player online, and this function gets something about session ID. It should be string for now. I suppose this one taking session ID as a string. So if I am the person who want to play the game, I will send my email. Then I will send other player email, the one who I want to play with. We know that we cannot send or email other player email. We have to split that string. So we take only the username. We don't add @ in the player ID or player name. So make sure this part. And always don't add it as a null. So do it this way. What about the second player who want to play the game? So if the second player play the game, he have to also to accept to play the game. So I don't know why he give me error here. He don't have to, but it should be fixed in a second. If I'm the one who accept the game, I have to do the reverse. I have to add first player, that's mean the one who request for me, so then my email. Why? So we could play on same node.
So me and him, we could play in the same node. So if his name is Hussein and my name is Jana, he will create node Hussein Jana. So to access to same node, I have to do Hussein Jana. So I could access to the same node. So just let me do two more variables. One of them, we name it the session ID, which is hold this one. And let me suppose this one should be public and have a null in it as an initial value. And I say, hey, this one, the public one, equal the local one. And also I need one more thing, which is the player sample. So if I am the player getting who is using X, or I'm a player who is using O. So to define that, I would say, hey, player sample will be set up here. If I'm the person who requests to play, I will give myself X. If I'm a person who accepts to play, I will give myself O. So it's just sample to identify my sample in the game. So now I have the session ID. Whenever the two players accept to play the game, finally I have the session ID for these two players. So now let me go back to the button click. So we know there's events, so when someone click on the button would fire this button click. We are no longer playing offline, so remove this code. Now I want to play online. So what I want to do, I want to do my reference. I create child, or if not created, name it player online, the people who play online. I create session for me, which is child, have a session which is session for these two players, and have another child, which is the ID of what they select, the person who selected, which is name it toString, because I cannot create ID cell with integer. Then I say set value directory. So what the value I will have, I will add my email. Okay, why my email? Because think about two-player play game. He say 1 selected by Hussein, 2 selected by Jana, 3 selected by Hussein, 4 selected by Jana. So creating under this session, create all this information about these two players. Now let's go to this game. Play the game. Play the game. We're no longer using online. Remove it. Autoplay. Check winner, keep it same, will not change anything. Autoplay. Now I'm no longer using this part, the guessing for the empty cell. I will get the ID of selected cell from here. Okay. So now there have to be a method who will call this code. So we said we are both playing on same session, so we are both adding our data under this one. So I could listen to this one. You said we did method defined here, but we did implement it. Let me implement it. So I say this one, then I complete. I want to listen. Do you remember when we did listen here before? I just copy same code. Why I have to rewrite? Think I have it. I just take this code for listening, and I add it to me here. So now I just taking some spaces, so you will see the screen completely. So let's see. I'm still listening for the child for the we are playing on. So I'm still getting the value, but before this thing, when I first getting the data, first of all, I have two players. You know that in the game, player 1 and player 2, player 1 and player 2. Maybe you wasn't able to get this one, but if you go here, you would see in the check winner there is a player 1 and there is a player 2. So if you don't able to get it, just go spelling it dot clear. I just clear mine for the first player, clear for the second player. So because every time there is change, I have to clear the data, then reload it. So I'm cleaning for first and second player. Then okay, this one will still same. I just getting the data as a hash map, which have information, then getting the value. Then I'm not setting anything, and I don't do break for anything. I getting the value and I have the key. So for the value, I'm checking. I say, hey, if the value will be equal or not equal, or equal, not equal my email, which is my email. If the value that saved is not equal to my email, because you know the value means that what we saved here. What we saved here, we are saving my email. Is that right? You save your email. So if it is not your email, that means he is not you. He's other player. Else, that means this data is you. So else, this is me. So if my I say active player. You remember when you define active player, that means who is the active now. So I say active player equal if my sample of what I defined here. I define the player sample. So I say the player sample equal x, then add 1, else add 2. So that means if x, that means I'm the active player. If O, that means the opposite. I will do the opposite case here for the second one. So I say 2 and 1. So that means just you will be able here to find who is the active player now, if it is X or if it's O. That's good. Now after I define the active player, if it's X or O, in this case, I just say send the data. I say, hey, autoplay. I send them the cell ID. How to get cell ID? The key will represent the cell ID. Is that right? Because you are saving the key as a ID, but I need to convert it to integer because the key is string. So I say to integer. And yeah, this is very, very basic process. I think now if we just run it, we will be able to play the game on 2 devices. For me, I just connected 2 devices, one over USB and one over the emulator. So how to connect over USB? Just is my machine. Hey, you see my password. So to connect over USB, first of all, connect your phone to the over USB to the computer. Then go to your phone setting. The settings. Where is the settings? Here is it. Then from the settings of your phone, go to the about device. Then in about, you have to go to the something, name it build number, and click 7 times. If you see the build number, just continue, click on it until he say developer mode is active. So you connect the OEM until you say no need, you are already developer. Continue clicking on it until it change you to developer mode. If you are using a new version 23 and after, if you before, you don't need to do this step. You need to go to developer options also, and you need to enable something named debug on USB. This one, if you see it, USB debugging, make it enable. Then you will be able to access to your phone from the emulator. So really easy process. So now if I just stop it, rerun it again, see I have this device and this is my emulator. This is my emulator and this is my real device, which is Nexus 5X. Select both of them and run it, because I do this step because to help me to play. It will not kill my PC with too many emulator running. So I just one real device and one emulator. Waiting for some time, and hopefully I could play Tic Tac Toe on 2 devices. Maybe we have errors and maybe we don't, but I think we followed the correct pattern. So just let me remove this one also and show you how they play, show you the data on the real device. So should be this one, should be this is my emulate device, and this one should be the emulator. Show it here. Emulator is running now, is ready. So my device also be ready. This is the data for playing the game. So think about this emulator is sending. So I don't know what player this one represent this device, because I never remember that. So it's better for me for now to delete it from this device, because I do a lot of debugging. So just delete the application and rerun it again to make sure I'm doing correct playing. So just rerun both of them and do a new player. I know this the Pixel XL will represent Jenna, because Jenna was using it, but the device I don't know about it, so I just register a new player for the device. So yes, this is my device. I will suppose I have Leia at gmail.com, and this Leia should be have the password, whatever she want a password, and she click login. So now both the player are login, Jenna and Leia. So now Leia in the phone she want to send request to Jenna. She'll say Jenna at I don't know if the name is correct. Jenna, this should be Jenna at gmail.com. Hopefully there will not be a break in the emulator. So sending request, you say break. So this is not a break in your PC. This is just, there's no break in the code. This is a break in the emulator. So basically best solution is just
you separate, stop it, you run this one alone, and he will debug it on the device. You wait. This is just, as I told you, this is just IDE error. It will not continue for a long time. They have to fix it soon. So you debug on the device, you make sure the application is installed, then you debug it on your phone, make sure to install it, then rerun the game. It have to work. So do this process, just install this one and then install for the second one. So I will be with you. So just install on the first one. You have to load it in seconds. Yeah, this is, so he loaded now, so I'm no longer needed. Just stop it. This is a problem, as I told you, happened because running both on some ID and ID is still in the beta mode. So now run it on real device. I have the real device. This one already installed on it. So if I just go here and just open the Tic Tac Toe, they have it already. Now just this one, he don't need a PC, a computer. He just already installed in it, and the phone now will install the same one because there is no reason make him a breaking. We did not did anything wrong, I think. So for that reason, if you get in this case, as I told you, then now I want to ask Jenna. I say, hey Jenna, I want to play a game with you. Jenna at gmail.com. Then hey Jenna, request. Jenna get my request. She accept. Then yes, they accept. So now both could play the game. So to play the game, I want to show you how they play the game. So you would see it. You will see the session here for both the players. So yes, minimize the IDE. So now I'm playing the game. So I just add O. She see a directory. She see the O. If she play the game, she click CX. She add directory CX, and we are both playing the game normally. So I click, see, she click, I click this one, and I win. So we are both playing the game online. So that's what I want to show you.
That's great for what we did until now, but one thing you have to do before you go next, the two players cannot play again because the data already saved. So make sure to go to here, a play online method, and remove any value they have before. So when they play again, there is no data saved for them. So thank you for watching and see you next. Hey again. For now, when someone want to ask to play with another one, just send request. The other person just see the request. There's no notification. Now what I want to do, I want when someone get a request, he get notification here. So let me start doing the notification. Now there's a new type of notification named notification channel that coming with Android, but this one is still not stable. So let me wait the final release to do the video about that. So let me use the old version now, or the current version for notification. So to do notifications, first of all, I have to define a new class, and this class I name it notifications. Okay. So notifications, you just here define your class and you start working. So I define my class. Oops, in this way. Class. Happen class, name it notifications, and this class will have it doesn't have anything, just start the constructor without anything. It have a method function, name it notify. Notify. Okay, so to notify, you will get two parameters. First of all, the context that we get always, which is part from the context class. Also, you could get the message. So it is supposed to get the message also. Message. I will suppose the message string, and I get the number of the notification. Give it integer. Okay, this is the 3 parameter I get it. So I get started to do implement for this notification. So to do implement for notification, we need first of all we have icon for the notification. So but I also have in the asset icons. If I just go to Twitter on my asset, I have this Tic Tac Toe. So to using it, I just have to go to resource directory, drawable, add this folder. After I add it, I add this file inside it, which is this Tic Tac Toe, and use it. Okay, I want this Tic Tac Toe also represent my application. So make sure to go to application, change it to the application here to drawable. drawable, oops, drawable, not slash open, drawable slash, just make sure I just using same icon for everything. So using here, I'm using for the round. This is the new design, like you display as a round icon. This is the normal icon, so 2 type. Now go down to my notification. So now I have the icon. Let me start implement our notification. So to implement our notification, I have defined val, I name it builder, okay? And this builder will be type from notification compact. So notification compact, which is notification compact dot, you say builder, you give it the context, which is the coming one context, and you set up the properties for this one. First of all, you set the default voice and other stuff. You say set default, you give it notification in this way dot default all. So this is the default voice, other stuff. Then you set up the title. You say set content title. Let me give it a new request. This is my title, okay? And what the text? You say set content. I need set content text. I set it with the message coming. So whatever message coming here, I set it. Also set number, because every notification have to have a specific number. I give it the number coming from the input. I done from this part. I need to set the icon. You say set small icon, and you give it the icon, which is r.drawable dot tic tac toe 1. Now I set up all the default properties that I wanted to my icon to do. Now I want to say, hey, this one I want when someone click on it, I want to open the application for me. I say set content intent, which is this one. So content intent, you said, hey, what you want to do from this, what we want this application to do for you. Say, okay, I want this application to open the intent for me. Like I want this application to open my application for me. So to do that, the process is really easy. First of all, you say pending intent. I know this is something new for you, pending intent. So pending intent, other type of intent, say pending intent dot get activity, not activities, get activity, which take 3 things. First of all, context. Second, all 0. Third one, your intent that I never defined it yet. I will define it now. And other one, you say the pending intent flag, pending intent dot flag update current. So this intent is not defined yet, but we know what we mean by intent. If I say, hey, this is val intent, that means this should be intent, and should go from this context to the activity that I want him to go. I want to go to the main activity, which is Java 1, which is Java class. So I say, hey, I have this intent. I want him to go to from now to the main activity. I define my builder. I say, okay, I want to make him go to that activity. You just set him this parameters and make sure you send him this intent. You know where he have to go. Now I want when someone click on the notification, remove it, he will dismiss it. So I say auto cancel or call it true. So I just dismiss the notification. Now I want to show this builder. I have this information about my notification. I want to show it. To show the notification, you have to have notification manager. You say, hey, notification manager. Oh, cool. You need to get system service context dot get system service. Why you cannot write directly get system service? Because get system service is part from context. And now I'm in the class, I'm not in the main activity. If you are from a class, you want to call get system service, you have to send the context also, because get system service alone will not work. Okay, you need context before it. Which system service you need? You need context dot notification service. You say notification service and make it to change it to notification manager. So which is this part. I need notification manager. So this is all the things that I want to do. Now, okay, I have notification manager. I have my notification. I just fire it. I say, hey, notification manager dot notify. I send it the information that I want to notify. First, I need to have notify tag. So I say val notify tag. I give it a new request. You could give it anything. I give it a new request, a new notify, whatever. And also you need to give it the folder that you want to send it, but make sure this one should be bold. Okay, so bold, he will know what he you give it, yes, you give it notification bolder, then 0, this is the ID of your tag, and he will know how to show it. So this is all the information that I want to pass it, but this will not work on all the devices. There is two type of devices. Some of them need different design from others. So make sure you add if bold dot version dot SDK init greater than or equal bold dot version code dot this type of the version code, which is a color. This type of version, we could use this type of notification. Else you need to do different way. You need to take these parameters and pass it the hash code of the tag. Okay, yes, everyone have a specific way. So that's why I use this design, because there's different type of devices get different type of notification. If the device is running with a clear and after, you could send notification this way. If it's before this version, you could just send the hash code for the notification. So now I have everything ready for my notification. I could get an instance from this class and start working to it. So how I do that? In the main activity, if you remember, I have incoming calls. In incoming calls, I get the email and set it here. I could here do the notification. I say, hey, val notify me equal in instance of a class notification. Then notify me should be dot notify, call the method for notify. Up notify should be capital, I think. Is it? Yes, notify. Get different of the parameter. One of them the application context or this, and the second one with the message. You could send him the value. You say, hey, this value plus wants to play Tic Tac Toe, and the third parameter the ID. You say, for example, give it 10. It is better to use this way. Say var number equal 0, and you send the number here, and this number will get increases. So every time you send different number, and also yes, that's what you want. So every time, every notification will have different number as notification, so you will get different notification. So I think for now everything sounds good. So to just get run it, just click run to see the results. So let me run it, waiting for some time, and we start sending a request. Okay, now after a while the application is running. If I just want to send request from this phone to that phone, you see, you just get notification. If you look here to the notification, you just open it. This is new request. This email want to play Tic Tac Toe, which is amazing. That's what I want to do. Like now, if I'm just not activate my application, I just get the request. I will be able to see the request here, like in the notification, and I could now click on it and go to my application. So yes, this is very basic process that we want to discuss here. You get here bugs because I think when he opened the application, you get to a main activity and you cannot start main activity directory. You have to go to the first activity, which is login. This is this because you know that we need to go to the process of when we start activity. You cannot go to the main activity first. I have to go to the login, then from the login you need to go to the main activity. So yes, this is very basic application. How to notification is really easy to use. You set up your parameter, send it and run it, and he will do everything for you, and that's exactly what we want to do. So hopefully for now you understand the notification. It was easy. As I told you, Android, they push a new thing named Android notification channel, but this one is still not, until now, still not in the way that we wanted. When it be ready, we will go and talk about it. As you see, this is the notification, this is the application icon. I think everything now in the way that I wanted. So now I click on it, you will not see any problem because he is logging without any additional problem. You could add icon, change this small. There is many details you could add it to your application, like make the icon notification, make the icon bigger or more. You could check it online. Here we done. Thank you for watching.